You have to read the manifestos. It's up to you to do the research. I did a video, a reform policy video, my opinion on their policies, and there's a lot of comments on there asking how are they going to afford what they've put in their manifesto. Now, the issue is, these people that are asking, and they're obviously lefties that are asking, they haven't watched the debates. And this is an issue because I've said from the beginning of when I started Face Speaks Louder, you have to do your research to make sure that you don't make yourself look stupid, right? You have to watch the debates. Now, there's been a lot of debates with the leaders of the Welsh parties, and Reform, fair play, Dan Thomas answered every question, right? And he's not over-talking people and stuff like that. He's been very concise, very straightforward. Now, Rhyn from Plaid Cymru hasn't been able to answer any costing, right? And the ones that he has addressed very vaguely doesn't add up. Now, if you look at the manifesto, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't read the manifesto and you're just commenting because it's just your belief system, I don't care. Facts don't care about your feelings. I want facts, right? I want evidence. And I've read all the manifestos. I have spoken to someone who has done all of the costings for all of the parties to see if they actually do add up. And I can tell you now, the Plaid Cymru have not done their work. They've not done their due diligence. And what we're going to get with Plaid Cymru is pie in the sky, false promises. Right? And you're going to get that with Labour, but at least Eluned, she came out and said it's going to be expensive. What we want to do is going to cost a lot of money, and we're going to need to get money from somewhere, right? She was honest about it, right? So there was no hiding. The Welsh Labour wasn't hiding that this is going to be an expensive project, right? And she was, fair play to her, she was challenging the other leaders, saying, how are you going to afford it? Right? Now, I like that, right? And, I'm not for Welsh Labour and I'm not for Eluned Morgan. And I think she's done a lot of things wrong. However, I like the attitude that she brought of honesty to say this is going to cost, right? Now, Dan Thomas, the reason why I like what Reform are putting forward right now is because there is a lot of honesty involved in it as well. Right? He's not coming out saying, well, we try and work with this or we try and work with that. No, he's don't scrap it. We're going to scrap it. That's where the money's coming from. We're scrapping this. We're scrapping that. And I like that level of honesty. Now, that would frighten some people because they'll be like, whoa, hang on, that's too extreme. It's too radical. But I'm of the mindset now, we need radical. Wales is in the worst state it's been in years. Right? Well, actually, since the Senate was created, but that's for another video. But it's in a really bad position. And we need radical change. Matthew, do you think we need radical change right now?
Absolutely, we need radical change. It's things aren't working, are they?
No.
And I think it would be a very daft idea to just go along with the same old as what we've had for the last 20 odd years.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. I remember seeing a clip, for the leaders' meeting. I can't remember what the question was, but basically it was, the question was posed and they went one by one. The answer was yes or no. I can't even remember,
right.
But the point is that yes. And it gets to Rhyn at the end and he says, well, we have to look at the issues. And there was this big groan, from everyone. And it's like, you cannot trust, a politician who cannot give a simple yes or no answer. And we need to do something different and we need radical change in Wales.
Yeah. Now, we don't want the radical change that is of the Green Party because that would be radical too, right? But that radical will send society into a spin, right? We will not look like Wales.
But that's radical in the same direction that we're going.
Sure, yes.
That's leftist radical, and that's just taking what we've had so far and just turning it up to 11.
Right.
Whereas we need radical change in the opposite direction.
That's so true.
To just say, enough of this. Come on, let's go back.
Yeah, that's so true. It is ultimately, Green Party is where our destination is if we stay with Labour or go with Plaid. That is where we're going to end up anyway. It's just that Labour and Plaid are really, really sneaky. And they'll bring it in little bit by little bit, hoping that nobody notices. And then we get into the point where it's going to be too late. We are in the radical kind of space. But Reform want to take us back to traditional values. And I know that doesn't sit well with some people because they don't want tradition. I love tradition, and we should keep tradition. And our traditional morals and values are very precious to us. It's actually what makes us British. It's what makes us Welsh. And if we do away with it, what we're doing away with is our history. It's the core of who we are. So that's why I just wanted to address, if you were commenting on my social media saying, well, how are they going to afford this? How are they going to afford that? Watch it. Read the manifestos. They tell you in it. Unless it's plaid, they don't tell you. So you just don't have to make it up. But for the other parties, they're telling you exactly what they're going to do. You have to read the manifestos. It's up to you to do the research. I've done my best to present it to you in a non-biased way and in a biased way, because obviously I've made my mind up kind of who I'm voting for. But I want you to make that decision. And the only way you can make that decision is by reading the manifestos, the policies, and then watching what comes up to their mouth, and also looking at the history of the party. What have they done? What good have they done? What bad have they done? So you have to take all those things into consideration when you go in to vote. So don't look to the left, don't look to the right, look up Wales, because we're nearly there.